Welcome to this webinar in which I will show you the basic settings and actually the magic of Amyart.app. If all is well, you see actions, contacts, artworks, contacts, actions, and the menu bar over here. So these are the main parts of Amy. For your information, we're now in the premium version, so people who are used to the freemium version may see that there are some extra tools. All right, let's get started. Artworks, contacts, and actions, the three basic parts of Amy. Artworks is what you see here. Contacts is the part where we manage our contacts, which are also linked to artworks, you will see later. And actions. Actions is actually a place where you categorize artworks, so you can put them in certain kind of actions like a sale, a purchase, an exhibition, artwork lists. You can make a proposal of artwork. So that are actions, actually things which are happening to your artworks or things you want to remember about your artworks. You can make artwork lists to brainstorm about exhibitions. And the good thing about actions is from your action, you can make documents, you can export PDF files, price lists, portfolios, Excel files. You can all do that from your actions. And the actions will be saved automatically. You can always return to them and edit them. That being said, I'm first going to go to the menu. In your account, you can go to your account settings, add extra users, change the names of your users, things like that. Also, your invoices will be found here. Layout settings, that's what we're going to do right now. But first, I tell you that we also have tutorials which you can watch to get a guide through Amy. They're very short, but to the point. So they will be a great help to you. Layout. So when you start working in Amy, I would advise to start with your layout settings. We have different layout topics. So we have just the print layouts for your documents. Proposal layout. A proposal is actually a private viewing zone online. So there you can also define your layout with a logo and a footer. We have a presentation mode layout. You will see later on what presentation mode is. And a public wall layout. A public wall is like your own mini website, which you can also manage from Amy. Easy as it can be, we're going to add a logo to our print layout. So click on the button to choose a logo and just simply add it. I'm also going to add a footer. And I want my footer to appear in the middle. So via this, you can define the position or the alignment. You have to save your layout settings. So keep it in mind for everything what's related to layout settings or printing, you have to save. All the rest is not to be saved and Amy saves automatically. So just the print settings you should save. I'm just going to go to presentation layout as well, because this is a little bit different. Here you can also define what specific information you want to include on your presentations. What is a presentation? I will show you later on, but it's actually just a very clean view on your artworks, and you decide which information is visible with price or without price. And just imagine if you're an art fair and you want to talk about a certain set of artworks, you go to the action of the artworks, click on the presentation layout, and then you can show them in a very nice layout. But here you define if you want it with price or without price, or if you want to show the selected edition or not. Again, I'm going to save the information. And I think by this being said that we can move to the artworks. So I click here to go to artworks. Just a few navigation tips. As Amy is a web-based application, you have to navigate by clicking on where you want to go. Don't use the arrows to go to the former page as you are used to do on the internet, because it doesn't work like that in web applications. Okay, you will go to the former page, but you may lose some information you just entered. So just click on the buttons where you want to go in the application. So now we want to go to artworks, and by clicking here, we get the overview of all the artworks. You can scroll through them. You can search on your artworks. In this bar, you can search on artist, title, or date, or you can go for a more advanced search here. You can also sort the artworks. Okay. A general thing in Amy is click on artworks to go to the artworks, click on contacts to go to the contacts, click on actions to go to the actions, but click on the plus to create an artwork or a contact or an action. I'm going to create a new artwork. Here you see the image field. If you click on it, the image tab will open. Click again here and you can select images, as many as you like, to upload them at once. So this is the backside of an artwork. You can upload it, but it's just for internal information. If you click on an image, it appears bigger, also good to know. But I deselect the slider here to make sure it won't get printed on any documents. And that's a general rule in Amy. If you have the slider on, it will appear on documents. If you have the slider switched off, it won't appear. You can also change the position of the pictures. And as you'll see, the first image is the image which is your primary image. And of course, we want to have the front side of the artwork as primary image. So I'm going to do it like this. Now, I'm going to go to the caption. And this is where you fill out the basic details of the artwork. Start with filling out the artist. And artists are selected from your contacts database. If the artist is not existing yet, like Claire Watson, the artist of this work, is not existing yet, we're quickly going to create a contact. Ooh, yeah, that's a typo. I'm going to tag her as an artist, because you can also search on tags. Sorry, was too fast. Artist, enter. And via the text, you can easily find certain groups of people. Back to the artwork. Back to the caption. And now I can choose my artist from my contacts. Of course, this has an advantage, the fact that it's linked to your contact database. Just in case, if you made a typo in an artist's name, you only have to change it once, and that's on his or her contact record. And it will be corrected anywhere in the database where you use this name. Maybe you saw it already, but you can also add collaborations, so collaborating artists, which is quite common today, or other. You don't have to do this for 99% of the artworks, probably, but just in case, if you have, for example, a video work and you want to indicate who was a sound engineer in your caption, you can just make this value yourself. And that's a basic principle in Amy. Other stands for a value you can add yourself, and it will become part of your personal value list. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. Title speaks for itself, but if you wonder why you can add several titles, I think it's already clear. Just in case you want to communicate in more than one language, you have the chance to show both or just one of them. So as you see, by switching the slider to off, the sans titre, the French title, disappears here. And when I switch it on, it appears. You can also just do it like this again. So switch it on, and I'm gonna change the position. And as such, you see that we can play around with the caption, and it's very flexible. Date, 2019, easy like that. Edition, this is a very, very important part for any artwork. As you can see, we have this red banner here since we created the artwork, and as long as the edition is undefined, this will stay here, just to alarm you, like, hey, it's very important to know if this is a unique artwork or if it has editions. And in this case, this is an artwork which exists in an edition of 3, and there's one artist proof. Again, you have other, and other is, just as I said before, a value list which you can manage yourself. Let's say I have a sample. It's not really an edition, but you want to know that you have a sample. Some people call it maybe an experimental copy or an archival copy. You can name it as you like and just fill out here. But again, sliders are very practical. You don't want this sample information to appear in your caption, so I just switched it off. All right, material and dimensions. This is a C print on debond, and as you can see, when I start typing, see, Amy already suggests that I want to use this material because I already used it in the past. So once you have once you have used the material, it will become part of the value list. I'm going to add dimensions as well. And in this case, all editions of the artwork have the same dimensions and material, but if you want, you can also change or add variable information for each edition by just selecting here in the end which edition may be different. And as such, you can play around with edition information or edition-specific information, which can be variable, not necessarily, but can be. And that makes usually that makes it very complex to manage your art, but that's what Amy makes easy for you. You just have to select which edition the specific information is about. Reference number, you can add as many numbers as you want, also on edition level if you want. And so, as you can see, what you fill out in the caption and everything which is switched on with the slider will appear here in your preview. And this is basically what will be printed on your documents. Financial. In this step, you can enter financial information like retail price or the price for which an artwork is sold or will be sold. Insurance values, estimated value, or other. And other, again, it's a value list which you can compose yourself. But in this case, I'm gonna fill out the retail price is 10,000 euros. In Belgium, we have 21% VAT. So if I fill out VAT, it calculates automatically, but it's my choice to just only work with prices excluding VAT for all editions. If you have a different price, for example, the AP, which can be more expensive sometimes, not necessarily, but can be, then you just fill it out like this, and whatever's switched on here will appear here. If I switch this off, it will disappear. Availability. This artwork is for sale, and let's say that all editions are for sale. So here you can just indicate which editions are for sale or eventually not for sale, or even in option. Information. This is very fun to do. Actually, also in the end, it will help you a lot. Tags will help you a lot in finding works in your database, because it allows you to give a tag and search on the tag. Meaning, if this artwork is part of the series West Virginia, now the tag is already there. Yeah, West Virginia is, for example, a series in the oeuvre of Claire Watson. And you can just search on this tag, and all the artworks which are tagged as West Virginia will pop up. You can add a courtesy line, authentication information, very important to know if there is a certificate to state the authentication of the artwork, whether it's signed or numbered. You can all register this information right here. Assigned to, also very important, even on edition level, to know who may work with which artwork. So which gallery may work with which edition. In this case, let's say that this gallery, which is coming from your contacts database, can sell all editions. You can also add an artwork text, and you can also print artwork text on your portfolio, which is very practical in case you have to communicate a lot about your artworks. Then, or if they need some explanation, which is very valuable to share, artwork text is a great tool. We already saw images. Let's go to packing and location. This is highly important. The most underestimated part of art management is keep track of the locations of the artworks. So the location itself is again linked to the context database. So I'm gonna say that this is, for example, at my place, this artwork with reference office, and I can tell that the artwork plus crate is here. Which edition? Let's say edition 1, just an example. And as such, you can add as many lines as you wish. History, it shows all the related actions to the artwork. As this is a new artwork, we didn't do any actions yet, nothing appears here, but I'm gonna show you via another artwork the principle of history. Besides, you can also add provenance information to to register the ownership of the artworks, which can be very important for collectors. All right, that being said, I'm gonna switch to another artwork, to the history tab. So I open this artwork, just a second. And there it is, the history tab. This means that this artwork has been used or has been registered in actions, in purchase, collection, loan, list. So the good thing is, once you create an action, Amy registers automatically the information in the history of the artwork, which means if it's been shown in an exhibition, that your exhibition history is always there once you have registered the artwork as being part of an exhibition. When you want to have more information about this exhibition, so the AP was shown in vanishing points, I'm going to the exhibition via this little eye just to have a look into this exhibition. And now we arrive in an action. Later on, we'll make an action from scratch, but this is just an example of how an action could look like. This is an exhibition. Each action has an information tab. When I open the information tab, you see all the fields you can fill out with action-specific information. You can also add exhibition views in an exhibition, exhibition title, the dates, the place, eventually transport details. So you can add lots of information. And from each action, you can go and create documents. And when you go and create documents, you do that here via the printer. You can also switch to the presentation mode. I'm quickly going to show you. So these artworks, which are in the action, will be visible in the presentation mode. This is how it looks like. So it's very nice and clean. If you click on the image, it appears bigger. This artwork has 2 images, so you can also easily navigate through the images. And if you want to see more information about the artwork, just click on the 3 dots and it will appear. You may remember that in the beginning of this webinar, I started with layout settings. And in the layout settings of my presentation mode, I have chosen not to show the prices here. But if you go to your layout, you can also check prices and turn them on as visible. The logo appears here, which we have registered in the layout settings, and the footer as well. Again, in web applications, you should always use the buttons, not the button to go back in your browser. So I'm leaving my presentation mode like this. Print settings, I will go into detail about that pretty soon, don't worry. But I'm sorry, I'm going from artworks and I'm already lost in actions. I'm just going pretty deep in actions. There are still some things about artworks I want to show you. So I'm going back to artworks. Back to the artwork, production and condition. Here you can enter productional information like costs you do, and you also can keep track who paid the costs and who was the producer, and this can help you a lot for future productions, and also in case an artwork gets sold, you know precisely who paid for what. In this case, the artist Claire Watson has paid the printing, and it was 250 euros, for example, produced by frames per second. And like this, Amy really becomes also a production memory. So you will always remember who produced what. Very can be very useful for future productions. This is just for edition 1. She paid 250 euros. Condition. This is also very important to, and actually very easy to keep track of the condition of your artwork. Let's say this artwork got scratched on top of the background. This is my description. I'm going to add a picture by clicking here. And I'm going to select an edition. Edition 1 was scratched. And as such, you can print very easily condition information about the artwork. So let's jump from artworks to contacts before we move to actions. So contacts, if I click here, I go to my contacts overview. Here I can search on contacts by searching on names. And here I can do an advanced search also on tags and interested in. Very useful. As being shown already by creating the contact of Claire Watson, you just have to click on the plus and then click on contact to create a contact record. But what's the difference between a contact and an organization? Now this is one contact, this is just one person. As an example, I'm going to make a contact record for myself. All right. And as you can see, there's this plus, and you know the plus is to add things. I can add an address, I can add even several addresses and write in the remark which stands for what. And can add very basic information like phone numbers, email addresses, websites, as many as you like. And there's the other. And other can be very valuable for your contact management. For example, if you wish to know of every contact which FedEx number they have, you can just put it in your value list other. Now I'm gonna show you something which is also very practical. It's the relation between contacts and organization. If I go to the contact record of Studio Thomas Bock, this is an organization because there are more than one person. You see the connected organization and contacts that Thomas Bock is the artist and Eva Smith is the assistant. And by clicking on the eye, I go to the personal contact record of Thomas Bock. I want to go back to his studio. I go back to the organization. If I want to go to the personal contact record of Eva Smith, his assistant, I click here. And as such, you can easily connect people to each other by just clicking on the plus. I can connect Eva to another organization if I wish. And if at a certain point Eva is no longer the assistant of Thomas Bock, I can just deconnect her from that studio. Of course, I would advise also to delete her email address, but her mobile number, yes, that will probably stay the same. So as such, you can play around with your contacts without the necessity to create multiple contact records for people in different organizations, because that's very typical for the art world, is that people have different functions. Eva Smith, she can be, for example, the assistant of another studio, and she can also be a curator for Palace of Art. And as such, you can just link her to several organizations and vice versa. You see, now she's in Palace of Modern Art. Okay, that about contacts. Good to know is that you can make contact lists. So this is an action contact list. I can search my contacts. Let's say go for Eva Smith Hub, and then you can just drag and drop them in the action. You can give a list name, let's say invitation dinner summer show. And once you have all your contacts, you can add some more to them, hop, hop, hop. You can print them in Excel or PDF as you wish. I'm going to leave the print template. So that about context, very short. One more thing, I'm going to show you that in contacts, you can also register interested in. So if Martin Wolf is interested in Thomas Bock, you can also search later on who's interested in Thomas Bock, and all the contacts will appear, which is a very valuable tool for sales. Okay, now let's go to the part where the real magic happens, and that's actually actions, because that's where you do the real management and the creation, or the creation of valuable information, of documents, things like that. What kind of actions do we have in Amy? Quick selection. Quick selection is the only selection or the only action which is not saved. So if you make a quick selection, you just select the artworks for printing, or I don't know for which reason, and you just don't save it, just a one-time use. Then you have artwork list. Artwork list is an action in which you put artworks, as the title already explains, and you can always return to it. For example, I would make an artwork list if I'm doing a brainstorm for an exhibition, and only once the exhibition is very cleared out and it's clear which work is going to be shown, then I create the exhibition. Collection, as we, our team, Amyart, the Amyart.app team, we don't believe in the idea that a person is or a collector or a gallerist or an artist. No, you can have multiple profiles. That's why we also include collection in Amyart.app, because if you're a gallerist, it might be very important to keep track of artwork lists and exhibitions, but you could also have your own collection. Same for an artist, you can also have a collection. Same for a collector, he can also curate exhibitions. So we just see Amy as a multi-profile tool. So collection is to register artworks you have in collection. You can make several collections if you have different time periods. Purchase speaks for itself. If you want to register a purchase, you do this by clicking here. Sale, the same. I will make a sale immediately, so you will see how it goes. Proposal. Proposal is actually a private viewing zone which you send to a person. For example, I'm going to add an artwork to a proposal. Here you select to whom you're going to send the proposal. Select the email address. You can put a valid date, valid until date, and logo, footer, caption, edition, and retail price. Let's say this is the information you want to send. And you can at the currency, the retail price is 10,000, but let's say that the proposed price is 8,000, including VAT, which is a 20% discount. And then you can send it to your contact, and this contact will receive a link in his or her email inbox where this person can see the artwork with the proposed price. Transfer. This is something we are really happy to have this included in Amy, because it's a very practical tool. If transfer speaks literally for what it is, transferring things from one place to another. So you can just drag artworks in your transfer and then say, I'm going to transfer these files to, it's just an example, I'm going to do it to the same person. Here you can choose what information you want to send along, and the following information will be transferred. So if you transfer these artworks to Julia Deco, she'll receive an email in which she can accept these artworks in her Amy account, even in a free account. So this is the information which will be transferred: caption, edition, reference number if you have one, images, authentication info, artwork text, and the condition of the artwork. That's what will be transferred. And this is a very easy way to communicate about your artworks in a very professional way. So the other person doesn't have to copy or paste your information in his or her database. No, you can just send this transfer to Julia Deco. If she is an Amy user already, she will be asked to accept them in the in her database or not. If she's not an Amy user yet, she can make a free account to import these artworks in her database, especially for the relation artist gallery. This is a very useful tool, but also the relation gallery to collector. It's an extremely useful tool. Actually, I can imagine many types of relations in the art world for which this is a very valuable tool. Okay, and then we have loan. This is where you can register which artworks are in loan to whom or which institution. Contact list, we already saw that. Now I'm going to create a sale. As promised, I would show you how to register a sale. So once an artwork is sold, you should go to the plus of actions, click on sale, and here you are in the sale. Let's say we just sold the artwork which we created together in this webinar. It's a sale to, I'm gonna sell it to Femke Kools. This is, no, myself. In a sale, you can add several artworks, but in this case, I'm just gonna sell one. Select the edition. I sell, so edition 1 is sold. The retail price is 10,000 euros excluding VAT, and maybe it's sold for 10,000 euros VAT, but it could also be sold for 9,000 euros, depending on the discount on the sale. And now this information of the sale is registered in Amy, and this will mean when you go to the artwork, and you go to the financial tab, and also to the history tab, that it will show you that this edition has been sold. So all you have to do is create the sale, and Amy registers the information in the financial. So as you can see, this line is our sale. Edition 1 has been sold for 9,000 euros excluding VAT. This is gray and not white like these fields, because this information is just copied from action to this place. You cannot edit this here. Also, the availability status is updated automatically because you created the sale. It says that edition 1 is sold. And when you go to the history tab, it says edition 1 is sold. Do you want to go back to the sale to see more information about the sale? You just click on the eye and you arrive in the sale. So this is how your archive actually grows organically. By adding actions, you create history about the artwork. Okay, one more thing, and actually quite important thing, is printing. It's really amazing what you can do in just a few clicks in Amyart.app from your actions. I'm gonna go to vanishing points, which is an action which I already created, an exhibition. And let's say I want to print a price list. So you see what I do. I go back, click here on the print icon. And if you're new in Amy, you won't have any templates yet, so you will have to create a new one. You can create as many templates as you like, so you can be very flexible with it. A price list looks like a caption list, which is small images and text on the side. As I'm European, I'm going to print on A4. This is the orientation of my paper, portrait. I like Arial as a font, and let's put it on size 12. I'm not going to go wild with the colors, so I keep it black. And as you see, when you create a new template, we already automatically select the primary image, the caption, and the edition to appear on your list. And I'm now going to add that, yes, I want my logo to appear, and yes, I want my footer to appear. And of course, the retail price, because it's a price list. Click Save. Now I select my price list, and I'm going to print it. 1, 2, 3, voila. So this is actually the magic of Amy. Once you have an action, you can go and print any type of document you want. Now, this is a simple price list, but you could as well select the location to be included or the insurance value. And that's how you can easily print a lot of data in just a couple of clicks. Okay, going back to Amy. I'm going back to my action. Here you see the artworks. Now let's say you want to print another type of document, a portfolio, to present the artworks. I already created a template for it. I'm going to click on print, and this is how it looks like. It's nice and clean, it's very tidy. You don't need to spend hours on InDesign. What a bargain. All right. I included an artwork text to this artwork, and as you can see, it prints the artwork text because I selected in the portfolio template that I want an artwork text to appear if there is one. And just like this, you can create portfolios in no time. As you can see, we can also create Excel files. So if we choose Excel, these are all the things you can export to Excel. Remember, once you have created a print template and you want to keep it, don't forget to click the Save button. So the Save button is only for print templates and layout settings. All right, this was a very basic introduction to Amy. I hope it was very helpful to you. Thanks for watching, thanks for joining the webinar, and hope to see you next time.